Welcome to Yakar Tel Aviv's basement for another little drash. So tomorrow is Pesach Shenì. All of us love getting a second chance. But the obvious question is, why Pesach? Maybe you can have a second chance about all the mitzvot. So, a very simple reading is, Pesach is the mitzvah that takes us out of Egypt. It is the mitzvah that makes us a nation. In that sense, it really is our first mitzvah. Those who don't do Korban Pesach are cut off from the Jewish people. So actually, if you think about the storyline, it makes perfect sense that this being the first mitzvah, this being the mitzvah which creates nationhood, this being the mitzvah that we are told that you get cut off from the Jewish people if you don't do, it would make sense in the storyline that people came and said, wait a minute, I'm missing out. What happens to me? Am I going to get punished for not doing it? Is there a way of maybe doing it? Maybe I can do it. So I think actually in the story makes perfect sense. But let's try to take it another level, right? I think another level is to come back to this theme that we just started with about second chances. So that every mitzvah in the Torah symbolizes different elements. And Pesach Shenì symbolizes this notion of realizing that there is a way, even when you miss a mitzvah, to actualize the value of that mitzvah. Now I want to take that a step further. Cheers. In these mitzvot, this mitzvah, where actually we're not told about Pesach Shenì until people, real lifetime people like you and I, come along and ask that question. Okay? The Torah doesn't say there's a mitzvah, there's an option of Pesach Shenì, as if it waits for a story where people who can't do the original Pesach come and ask Moshe. They were impure, they were carrying a body, a dead body, or something to that effect. We don't exactly know. It's possible in the Midrash that they were the ones carrying the bones of Yosef. But for whatever reason, whatever justified reason they have for being impure, they come and approach Moshe about this question, and Moshe brings it to God. And of course, the obvious question is, well, what would have happened had they not asked? When would we have been told about this option of Pesach Shenì, of a second Pesach? Here, and also with the daughters of Tzolofchad, where there is a question of who will inherit, as Tzolofchad has no sons, and the daughters come and say, we should be able to have that inheritance, and the Torah says they are correct. In both scenarios, we are told about something new because people have come and asked. And Rashi in both places has this idea of Megalgalin Zchut al Yedei Zakah, meaning that the Torah knew what the answer was, right? But the question is, who's going to ask that question? And in that sense, who will be the zchut, the zakai, to bring that information, that new halacha, that element of the mitzvah into this world? So it's not that, we didn't know that piece of information at all. It's a little bit more sophisticated than that. is that God and the Torah are waiting for us. They're waiting so that they can tell the next story, the next piece of information, the next mitzvah. But some mitzvot are waiting for us to ask the question. And then they are told. Not, and then it is a new idea and we didn't know, so there's something lacking, chaser in the Torah. That's one way of looking at it. But this, even if you like, a little bit more conservative with a small c, of saying, no, actually, there's nothing new. There's nothing new here. It's all known. But what's new, what's different, is that you're asking. What's new is that you're not taking it for granted. And then something is revealed. So it's the revealment that, if you like, is waiting or new. And this, I think, is very optimistic and very encouraging, because I think it connects to what we mean by the second chance. They could just say, oh, they were given a second chance. Lovely. Good to have second chances. Give your children second chances. Let's give ourselves second chances. It's important. But isn't it interesting that the notion here of the second chance is coming through a question that people are asking. They're asking, why should I be left out? Right? In both the scenarios of Pesach Shenì, where people who are impure come and ask that they shouldn't be left out, and also the daughters of Tzolofchad, where he doesn't have a son, they both say, why should we be left out? We don't want to be left out. It's that care that we have, as people have, as Jews have, for Torah and mitzvot. It's the care of saying, I don't want to be left out. That reveals the second chance, or reveals, in the case of Tzolofchad, a change or a difference or a loophole in the system. So when I come to Pesach Shenì, of course, I'm encouraged that we have a second chance, and it's great to think about that. But I also would like to invite myself, and perhaps you as well, to think about what are the things that are waiting just around the corner that need us to reveal them. If we would only ask or notice. To ask, you have to first notice, wake up. If we'd only wake up and see something that's just around the corner. Shabbat Shalom.